Hey everyone, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a fresh look at a fascinating breakdown of how we teach the absolute basics of digital tools, specifically the keyboard and the mouse. Whether you're just reviewing the essentials or you're curious about how we actually codify this technology for beginners, understanding exactly how human intent translates into computer action is, well, it's the absolutely crucial first step.
So, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with our intro to the keyboard and mouse. Then, we'll explore the keyboard keys, followed by mastering the computer mouse. After that, it's game time. We're going to solve some multiple choice questions, tackle fill-ins and true or false, and finally, wrap the whole thing up with matching and final questions. All right, Section 1, Intro, Keyboard and Mouse. Think of the computer as this brilliant, incredibly powerful brain. But, on its own, it basically sits in the dark. It relies entirely on us to give it information and instructions. The keyboard is essentially your way of talking to it, and the mouse is your way of pointing at things. The source material actually defines our first tool perfectly. It says a keyboard is a rectangular board that has many small buttons on it. And there are exactly 104 of these buttons, or keys, on a standard setup. Each one has its own special, specific job to help you send input straight into the computer. Moving right along to Section 2, Exploring the Keyboard Keys. The text breaks down those 104 buttons really logically. You've got 26 alphabet keys, A through Z, for your words and sentences. Then there are 20 numeric keys, 0 through 9, split into two different sets for typing numbers. But the really interesting stuff? That's the special keys. First up, the space bar. The chapter notes it's literally the longest key on the keyboard, used to insert spaces between words. And honestly, it makes perfect sense, right? Since we constantly need to separate words to make them readable, the key we hit the most often is the biggest, most accessible one right there at the bottom. Next is the backspace key. The text describes this one beautifully, saying it acts just like an eraser. It deletes a character just to the left of your cursor. Hey, we all make typos, so having a dedicated digital eraser means you can just back right up and fix mistakes on the fly. Now, these other special keys are all about formatting and navigating. The Enter key is huge. It either submits commands or drops your cursor down to start a fresh line. Caps Lock? That toggles a mode where everything you type is fully capitalized. And then you have your 4 arrow keys, which literally let you drive your cursor up, down, left, or right. Okay, Section 3, Mastering the Computer Mouse. So now that we know how to talk to the computer by typing, we really need to know how to navigate its visual world. A modern mouse is essentially a pointing device, controlling that little arrow on your screen. The source throws in a really cool fact here. It's an input device that sends information to the computer the exact moment you click a button. It has 3 main parts to make this happen: the left button, the right button, and a little scroll wheel sitting right in the middle. Using it right is all about ergonomics. The text gives us 4 precise steps, so hold up your hand and do this with me. Index finger rests right on the left button. Middle finger goes on the right button. Gently grip the sides with your remaining fingers and thumb, and then just let the palm of your hand rest super comfortably on the back. The real trick with the mouse is knowing the difference between your clicks. A single click, pressing the left button just once, merely highlights or selects something. But a double click, pressing that left button twice super fast, that's the definitive command that actually opens up a file or folder so you can see what's inside. Let's do a rapid-fire review of that chapter summary, because we're about to put this to the test. Remember, keyboard equals input device. 104 keys, 26 are alphabet. Enter moves you down, backspace erases. And the mouse?
It's your pointer to select, click, and drag. All right, Section 4, Solving Multiple Choice Questions. Welcome to the Interactive Quiz Challenge. I'm going to read questions straight from the practice section of the chapter, and I want you to try and guess the answer before I reveal it. Ready? Let's go.
Question number 1. What is the longest key on the keyboard called? Think back to our breakdown of those ergonomic designs. What was the name of that giant key at the bottom? If you yelled out B, the spacebar key, you nailed it. It has to be the longest, so our thumbs can constantly drop those necessary gaps between our words.
Okay, next question. Which key works like an eraser? Picture yourself making a typo and you just need to delete the letter directly to the left of your cursor. Which special key are you reaching for? The answer is A, the backspace key. It works exactly like the eraser on a pencil, letting you instantly back up and fix your work. Section 5, Fill-ins and true-false. Let's keep this momentum going. We're jumping right into round 2 with some fill-in-the-blanks and true or false statements. Listen super closely to the wording here. To open a file, you usually blank on it. Think about the mouse actions we just went over. If a single click only highlights a file, what do you physically have to do to actually open it? You have to double-click it. Tap that left mouse button twice, super fast, and you give the computer the exact instruction it needs to open up that specific document. Now for a true or false. Listen carefully to this statement. The Enter key is used to add spaces between words. True or false? Oh, that is absolutely false. The spacebar handles the spacing between words. The Enter key has a completely different job. It either submits your text or drops your cursor down to start a brand new line. Section 6, Matching and Final Questions. Time for our final boss battle, tying everything we've learned today together with a matching exercise. Looking at these matchups, we can lock it all in. Caps lock types in capitals, Enter moves to the next line, backspace erases characters, single-click selects, and a double-click opens your files. You have officially decoded the foundational inputs of a computer system. So I'll leave you with this. The very next time you sit down at a keyboard and mouse, which of these powerful tools are you going to practice with first? And more importantly, what are you going to create with it?